Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the April 8th edition of Carolina Week.
The boys are back in town. We'll reunite you with the team at the Dean Dome.
Screaming fans, fires, and absolute insanity will show you how Carolina spirit took over Franklin Street.
In sports, we'll take you inside Ford Field for all the fun at the Final Four.
Weathercaster Dan McKimmey will tell us if it's going to feel like spring through the weekend.
All that and a musical tribute to our national champions. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Winning the second national championship for our alma mater is even sweeter.
Some people at UNC say that UNC actually stands for University of National Champions. Hello, I'm Carly Swain.
And I'm Jason Conn. As you heard from Carly, we're national champs. You won't hear any argument from the throngs of supporters who welcomed the team home Tuesday. Nobody minded that kids took a break from school.
I saw my friends come and they picked me up and I was like, yes.
And those who played hooky were rewarded. The Heels proudly had the trophy at the center of attention, but the seniors gave the trophy some competition as they waved their final farewell to the crowd.
Always look up there and remember this team and what we were part of and what we were able to accomplish this year.
Danny Green danced his last dance in the Dean Dome. The Carolina faithful were jumping around too.
It's just one of the things about Carolina, like you can't find the school spirit anywhere other than here.
Coach Roy Williams will always remember this team.
They took me for a fantastic ride, and I loved every minute of it. Thank you.
Lifelong Heels fan Luvinia Williams hoped her lucky mug would flash the Heels to victory. She says this championship is the most satisfying of them all.
It was so special because the ones that decided to leave came back and they proved their dreams that they wanted to win a national championship.
Former campus employee Linda Page notices that too.
It make you just want to cry. Those boys were good.
Some made proposals, some got signatures, and the alma mater capped off an exhilarating 2 days. It was the perfect Kodak moment.
Not every UNC student gets to experience this, and the atmosphere after we won is just amazing. Franklin Street is crazy. You know, I mean, they're still cleaning up the mess, and it's just awesome.
Many of the frenzied fans at the Dean Dome Tuesday afternoon had been partying for 24 hours straight. That party started in the Dean Dome and in the bars on Franklin Street. Nick King has that part of the story.
For Tar Heel fans, Monday night wasn't very stressful, and that didn't seem to bother anyone.
I like the blowout better because it keeps my nerves right.
Franklin Street's bars and restaurants were filled to capacity, and it makes perfect sense why.
How could you not want to watch it in this kind of environment? I mean, everybody's a Carolina fan. You're with your best friends, just watching the game, having a good time, and it's right next to Franklin, so all you got to do when the game ends is walk upstairs, and you're part of the party.
With 15 minutes left in the game, fans had made their decisions about the outcome. The only thing left to decide was who would win the Most Outstanding Player award.
You can have a car, you can have a Cadillac or whatever you want. Ty Lawson is the steering wheel to drive it. But Hansborough is the transmission, the motor, and everything else.
Wayne's playing great, Danny's playing great, Tyler's playing great. I don't think you can have one outstanding player.
And as the final moments started winding down, there were no more questions to be answered, just gut instincts to follow. Celebrate. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nick King, Carolina Week.
Eventually, nearly 50,000 fans made their way to Franklin Street. No one can be sure of the exact number, but you definitely couldn't get your car through.
And our reporter Kelly Davies was one of the 6 reporters we had on Franklin Street Monday night. She joins us live now from Johnny T-Shirt in downtown. And we know that Kelly seemed to survive that celebration, but she told us that she might actually have a hearing problem from the rest of her life. Just watch and listen to this report. You might understand why.
For a package, like my package is Federal. What? I did but I might have a hearing problem for the rest of my life. Watch and listen to this, and you'll understand why.
Right here, baby, Franklin Street. It is live. I do believe UNC just won the national championship. It's a good feeling.
Picture this if you can. 45,000 of your friends converge on Franklin Street. The fires are lit, and you take the leap. And you'll remember this for the rest of your life. Michigan State is now just an afterthought. But you won't forget that.
This is what it means to be a UNC athlete. This is what it means to be a national champion, baby. I mean, Michigan State has been America's team for like 36 hours.
I'm 20. My mom was here back in 1982. Maybe I can't carry a case of beer down the street, but I've had a great time. Go Heroes!
Congratulations to the men's basketball team winning their 6th national championship. Men's football is starting to go out and try to win one.
You'll remember the big-time players. We did it.
The mecca of college basketball is right here.
So let's keep screaming and kissing and dancing to the Carolina Blue beat that we're all so proud of. We have the fans, and we know how to celebrate. Go Heels, you're number one.
The Tar Heels were always number one to us, and now the rest of the country knows it. And by chance, Carly, did you check out that last shot of video?
You know, I did. That was a nice shot jumping over the fire, but Kelly, you're not supposed to do that.
You know, I don't recall hearing that myself, and I obviously did it for journalistic purposes. I really just wanted to give everybody a sense of how crazy it was on Franklin Street on Monday night.
Well, you did your job very well. Thanks, Kel. That's Kelly Davis live on Franklin Street. And some lucky students actually got to see the game up close and personal on the risers in Detroit, as our Wilson Andrews shows us is an experience that they'll never forget.
At 6 a.m. on a snowy Detroit morning, these students lined up for a chance to watch their Tar Heels take home a national championship title. 6 hours later, cold and wet, they finally got bracelets and a reprieve from the wintry weather.
My footwear was inappropriate. I wore the classic Carolina boat shoes, and they're a little wet, and wet leather is not good. It should be like tan. I've changed socks twice today. It's cold.
Some of the students found very hip ways to stay warm.
I think Carolina's going to blow out Michigan State through the inspiration of Snuggie.
At 5:30, the snow had stopped, and the students were back in line and armed with signs and chants to counter anything the Spartans threw their way.
Go Danny! Go Danny!
At last, the students got to head into Ford Field for the big game. So was waiting in the long lines worth it?
I would just like to show you the front row, just right here. This is the front row. And this right here, back here, you know, about 20 feet ahead is the basketball court.
As the game got closer, the excitement built. After the 11-hour drive, a whole day in the snow, staying in Canada, and a whole season of basketball, the Carolina fans who made the trip to Detroit got to see what they'd been waiting for all day, all season, and for some, all of their lives. So it wasn't just the players who got an unforgettable trip to Detroit. The fans might have made sacrifices, but they got to be at the big game when the Tar Heels won the national championship. In Detroit, I'm Wilson Andrews, Carolina Week.
And for the record, I'm not the least bit bitter about not being able to make that trip.
Will the championship affect the decisions of those who are considering coming to Carolina? Prospective students touring campus often factor school spirit along with academics and student life into their decisions. After Monday's win, school spirit appears to be at the forefront of many people's minds, but for others, it won't be part of the decision.
Well, I like a school with a lot of school spirit, so this definitely, like, obviously they have a lot of school spirit if there's like 50,000 people running through the streets.
Personally, it doesn't really for me. I mean, I love competitive sports, like I'll watch it and support school, but for me it's all about academics.
After I watched it, just kind of, I was like, yeah, I'm going there next year. A lot of pride.
And check it out, winning the title does seem to have an impact. Following the 2005 championship, the admissions yield, the percentage of admitted students who actually decide to come to Carolina, was up by 3.5%. The following fall, the admissions office received more than 1,000 applications more than the year before.
And one souvenir that fans are having a hard time finding is a copy of the Daily Tar Heel from Tuesday morning. The DTH staff made 3 rounds to stock the newspaper bins on campus, and still the bins were empty most of the day. But that didn't stop students from getting their copy of history. The Daily Tar Heel staff kept plenty of copies in the office to accommodate the high demand. If you haven't gotten your paper yet, head down to the DTH office to grab one for 25 cents a copy.
Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? One of the many benefits of being a Tar Heel fan on Tuesday was free Chick-fil-A sandwiches at the store in University Mall. All you had to do was wear Carolina gear and voila, free food. The Chick-fil-A restaurant gave out 633 sandwiches during the day and will be selling Carolina Blue milkshakes all week.
And free sandwiches will get people into a store, so will championship merchandise. T-shirts bearing the sign that the Tar Heels have proven to be the best, once again, are flying off the racks. Stores selling those sought-after shirts have been packed since our boys brought home the national title. Some styles are sold out already, but don't worry, stores expect shipments to continue coming in as long as the demand remains, and that could be a while.
Now, we all built up a lot of tension during the Heels Final Four run.
Yeah, and that win relieves a lot of it, but we'll tell you how to get rid of the rest of that stress next.
You know, washing your clothes in cold water instead of hot uses 90% less energy.
I know.
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
The stress of the championship game is over, and now it's almost time for final exams. Aprajitha Anand has more about what's behind stress and what you can do about it.
Like many people on campus, first-year grad student Terrence Eng sometimes feels overwhelmed.
So I'm currently doing volunteer research. I'm also working a part-time job, and I have a full-time class load. At times it can be quite stressful.
Eng isn't alone. A study done by UNC Campus Health Services says 1 in 3 students say stress is hurting their performance in school.
I think over maybe the past 10, 15 years on college campuses, we've seen an increase in the amount of students reporting stress.
So this is how stress works. Let's say you see a bear. Your body's immediate reaction is either to run away or to fight the bear. At the same time, your heart starts to pound, you start to breathe really heavily, you start to sweat. In some cases, you might even begin to believe the worst is going to happen. But believing the worst sometimes leads to good outcomes.
As a basic emotion, stress is very helpful. Imagine if it was exam time and you didn't have any stress at all. So stress serves a purpose.
But problems arise when people experience stress for a long time.
We know that stress does cause things like heart attack, stroke, and kind of the beginning of the disintegration of bodily systems.
To lower stress, Eng said he used medication.
When a situation has been particularly stressful, not just with school or work, but also my personal life, I did take anxiety medication.
Other ways to deal with stress include exercise, meditation, and counseling. In Chapel Hill, Aprajita Anand, Carolina Week.
If you need help, you can click on a link to the UNC Stress and Anxiety Disorder Center on our website, carolinaweek.org.
Somewhat lost in all the basketball hoopla, pun intended, UNC has a new student body president. Junior Jasmine Jones officially took over yesterday after the inauguration. Jones says she'll work to balance students' interests against concerns about the troubled economy. Many of her cabinet members include people who campaigned for other SBP candidates. Jones will be working with outgoing President J.J. Rayner during a transition period.
The men's basketball team isn't the only group going after a national title. The defending ACC champion dance team performed its nationals routine Monday night for family and friends. The ladies headed down to Daytona Beach this morning for the National College Dance Team competition. Most people see what the dance team does on the sidelines, and the team is placed in the top 6 in the past 4 years for its performance off the court.
We turn, we leap, we're classically trained, that most of us have had at least 10 years of training under our belt, and that we don't really get to show what we can really do and what we do for the school at the basketball games and at the football games.
The team has preliminaries tomorrow and finals on Friday. And I don't know what the weather was like down in Daytona, but up here in Chapel Hill, it's been wacky.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have weathercaster Dan McKim here to tell us about Easter weekend.
Yeah, temperatures the past few days have been quite chilly, but we're going to begin a warming trend over the next couple of days. I'll let you know how much longer you'll need those jackets and when you can finally break out the t-shirts again right after the break.
With a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, of 56 convertibles. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Dan, the weatherman, with your weather plans for the week ahead. Well, the past couple days have been chilly, but we're going to be seeing a warm-up through the next couple of days. And with the warm-up, the rain is also going to return. We have 2 chances of rain, one tonight and also one towards your weekend. So what does that mean for your Easter plans? I'll let you know in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, though, I want to talk about some storm reports we had across the area. On Monday, we had some severe storms pass through. And across Wayne County and towards Johnson County, we had hail of around 3/4 of an inch, and also some wind damage up towards Nash County. Now, if you notice, most of the damage was pretty isolated, and off towards Chapel Hill, nothing really happened out here. So it's relatively calm out there right now, and if we take a look at the current satellite and radar, we'll see across the U.S., it's very calm. A few clouds around, some showers off towards New York, but right here in the southeast, it's a few clouds around towards the mountains and Tennessee Valley. If we take a closer look, we'll see that those clouds are kind of a little thick there towards the end of the North Carolina mountains. They actually had some snow showers up in Boone and places like Blowing Rock on Monday and Tuesday, and some of the higher elevations saw up to 6 to 12 inches of snow. Around here, though, we're just dealing with sunny skies and nice weather, although it is a little chilly. But like I said, we're going to see a warm-up. And the reason we're going to have that warm-up is because we have a high pressure off to our south, right off the coast of Florida. Now, right now, it's currently sitting off the coast of Florida, but it will continue to move slowly away. And as we go into Thursday, we'll see the high sitting right off into the Atlantic. Now, the winds around a high move in a clockwise fashion, so we'll see the air begin to move around, pull it out of the Gulf of Mexico, and bring it right into our region. Now, also notice on Thursday morning, we have a little bit of a low pressure system sitting right off above us. That could spark off a couple of showers in the region, but we're not going to see too much, no downpours, no treacherous weather, just a couple of showers. And then as we go into Friday, we'll see that the showers move on out, will be very clear, very nice, and very warm, but our next weather maker will be sitting right off in the Midwest, and that will be approaching us over the weekend. Now, of course, if you're like many people, you're going to be traveling this weekend for Easter. So what's the weather like? Well, if you're going to be going to the mountains Friday, it's going to be kind of stormy. We're talking about thunderstorms during the afternoon. As we go into Saturday, you could see a couple of showers in the morning, but then we begin to clear out slowly. And as we go into Sunday, we're talking about sunny skies, highs around 56 degrees, so very, very nice weather. If perhaps instead you're going to be going to the beach, temperatures in the upper 70s on Friday with some showers. I think most of the showers will be happening in the evening. Then as we go into Saturday, we'll see some cloudy skies around, perhaps a couple of showers in the morning. And then as we go into Sunday, we're talking about highs around 68 degrees with lots and lots of sunshine. So great weather for Easter. Now let's take a look at that forecast for tonight and tomorrow. If you're going to be heading out tonight around midnight, again, there could be a couple of showers around, so you want to have that umbrella with you. As we go towards sunrise, we're talking about temperatures around 40 degrees, so have a jacket with you, but you won't need it for too long, as by the afternoon will be about 62, and then towards the mid-afternoon, we're talking about temperatures around 69 degrees. Let's take a look at that 4-day forecast. You'll see that temperatures, for the most part, are around normal for Thursday and Friday, 69 on Thursday, about 74 on Friday, but we do introduce that chance of rain Friday. I think most of the showers will happen in the evening, and then as we go into Saturday and Sunday, we'll begin to clear out, and it looks like Easter is going to be really, really nice. So if you have any plans for Easter, should be great.
You know, I think that's probably the most important day, for it to be sunny on Easter Sunday.
Exactly, exactly.
That's what's important. Thank you, Dan. Well, although our basketball team won its national championship, there's still another Tar Heel competing in his own Elite Eight, Anoop Desai. All American Idol contestants sang songs from their birth years last night, and Anoop's choice was True Colors. And he wasn't afraid to show his true colors, Carolina Blue.
Sitting with Anoop, and Anoop is stoked because his team, the Tar Heels, national champions last night.
Go Heels!
Woo! He said to me, I actually cried a little bit.
Results from last night's nationwide vote are tonight on Fox. I think we might all have maybe shed a tear of happiness on Monday.
Absolutely, from the main stage in singing and to the main stage in basketball, where UNC is well represented.
That's right.
Now we have sportscaster Kate Howard here. Going to tell us a little bit about that.
And like you're saying, that's 2 national championships in 5 years. Coming up in sports, a look back at how the Heels were able to dominate in Detroit.
Want to start a business? Have concerns about state regulations? Need information fast? Don't fret. The North Carolina Business Service Center is here for you. When you've got questions about business, we've got the answers that mean business. Pick up the phone and dial the Business Service Center. Call 1-800-228-8443.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
Sarah Moore was in Detroit for the Final Four and joins us now in the studio. Sarah, what special memories for a special group of seniors?
Kate, there's no better way to end your college career, and these guys have been working for 4 years to get to this point.
Once upon a time in the far-off land of Detroit, Michigan, the Carolina basketball team made it all the way to the national championship. Detroit was full of Michigan State fans, hungry for a win in the big game, but the Tar Heels were determined.
We did it. We made sacrifices, and like I said, we just worked so hard.
In the first 5 minutes of the game, UNC was already up by 10 points. The Tar Heels continued to extend the lead. Wayne Ellington said there was no sweeter sound than the silence coming from the Michigan State fans in the first half.
They were loud. We knew they were going to be loud, and we knew there was going to be a crazy atmosphere. And we wanted to come out and jump on them from the gate and attack them. And, it's quiet and take the crowd out of it from the beginning.
And for the seniors, everything seemed to fall into place. Bobby Fraser made a layup. Danny Green fouled out, proving that Carolina can play defense. And Tyler Hansborough got what everyone has been expecting him to get for 4 years. Hansbrough says the best part of all is his teammates.
You know, I can't really describe, what I'm going through right now, but, I know in a couple of days I'll calm down and I'll look back at my career now and think of all the accomplishments I've had. This will be the best one. This will be number one, my spot being part of this team.
The guys knew long before the final buzzer that this game was in the bag. And when the buzzer finally did sound, it was time to celebrate. With Roy and his boys a little teary-eyed, Carolina accepted its 5th NCAA National Championship trophy.
What a wonderful city Detroit is.
Many of the players say it was the best day of their lives.
Birth of my kids will be replace this moment, so I think I got some years until I can replace this one.
So the Tar Heels got their storybook ending, and a national championship made it a little easier to live happily ever after.
That's one bedtime story all current UNC students will be telling their children for years to come when they have kids.
Sarah, this is something I'll always remember. What's your best memory from Detroit?
It was just an amazing experience to get to go follow the team all the way to a national championship. I'm a senior too, so it's a great way to go out.
It sure is. Thanks, Sarah. The basketball season just ended, but it's never too early to start thinking about next year. It's expected Deon Thompson will be the lone returning starter. Marcus Ginyard will have a full offseason to get healthy. Will Graves and his sweet stroke will return from suspension. Ed Davis should be a little bit stronger, and Larry Drew will be expected to be more confident with his shot. Tyler Zeller should soon return to early season form, and that's not factoring in one of the top recruiting classes in the country. Simply put, there's a lot to look forward to. And believe it or not, there are other sports going on, including baseball. Patrick Johnson took the mound for the Heels against ECU last night, and Johnson struck out 11 and gave up only 1 hit in 6 1/3 innings of work. In the third, Carolina's bats would wake up, and Kyle Seager's single gave Johnson some much-needed run support as he drove in Dustin Ackley to put the Heels up 2-0. The Heels took a 3-0 lead in the 9th, but ECU would rally to cut the deficit to 3-1 with only 1 out and runners on the corners. But here, Logan Murchison gets ECU to ground into the game-ending double play as Carolina took it 3-1.
Well, guys, obviously we have baseball going on, but there is the factor that we are a basketball town.
That's right. We do know what the real news around here, and I come bearing presents. Oh. The Dean Dome was adorned with posters like these to welcome the Heels home, and I'm keeping this one.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. I'd keep something like that, too. Thanks, Kate. Really appreciate it.
Very cool. Well, coming up, we're going to take a look back at a season that we'll never forget.
On this special NCAA Championship edition of Carolina Week.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Now we'll take a final look at how the Heels pulled off a magical season.
And we can't do it without the help from the band Shine Down and the song Second Chance.
It's been a good 4 years, and I've done a lot and accomplished a lot, and I've been part of some good teams, and I'm very happy that I stayed. Please don't cry one tear for me. I'm not afraid of what I have to say. This is my one and only voice, so listen close. It's only for today. I just saw Haley's comments your way. Said, why you always running in place? Even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere. Tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life. I hope they understand. I'm not angry, I'm just saying. Sometimes goodbye is a second chance.
Everybody says these are the best 4 years of your life, and I'm pretty sure these have been the best 4 years of my life.
Well, thanks for watching this edition of Carolina Week.
Good night, and
Go
Heels!